What's up, fam? Let me hit you with this. Ever thought about how life can flip on a dime? Well, get this. One of the biggest legends in cinema, Gena Rowlands, left us this Wednesday, the 14th, at the age of 94. Yeah, I know, it sounds unreal, right? But before you go, no way, let me ask you. Do you know how this woman, who captivated generations, got her start? What was her secret to keeping her career on top for so long? Get ready, because what you're about to hear is going to move you. The story of this diva who defied everything and everyone to become an icon. And trust me when I say her path was anything but easy, it was a real minefield. We're going to talk about that moment no one wants to face, but it's part of life. On the 14th, Gena Rowlands, this immortal star of the silver screen, took her last breath, leaving behind a story that reads like a movie script. At 94, she closed the final chapter of her epic life, but not in just any way, no sir. News of her death spread everywhere, but the truth is, Gena didn't need headlines. Her legacy, her work, her characters, that's what's going to stay with anyone lucky enough to have seen her on screen. And if you think I'm exaggerating, just wait until you hear how it all began. Because if Gena taught us anything, it's that life might have an ending, but the story keeps going. But before we dive into Gena's last moments, we've got to rewind a bit, back to where it all started. You know that basic question, where did all this strength come from? How did this epic journey begin, turning her into one of the greatest actresses of all time? Let's discover that together, and trust me, her beginnings are nothing short of surprising, fam. Let's catch up. Before Gena Rowlands became the actress everyone loves, she was just a girl named Virginia Catherine Rowlands, born on June 19, 1930, in Madison, Wisconsin. Yep, straight out of the American Midwest. Who would have thought that this small-town girl, the daughter of a housewife and a legislator, would turn into a cinema icon, right? But check this out, things were already different at home. Her dad, Edwin, was the type to encourage his daughter to dream big. And her mom, Mary Allen, a visionary, always told her, Gena, the world is way too big for you to just stay here. With that support, it didn't take long for her to develop a burning passion for acting. Now, get this. It was at the University of Wisconsin where Gena took her first steps into the theater world. Back then, she was already showing an incredible talent that made everyone stop and watch. It didn't take long for young Gena to decide that if she was going to shine, she might as well do it in style. And where else do you do that but in New York? And that's when the game started to change. Arriving in New York, Gena went to study at the prestigious American Academy of Dramatic Arts, where she shared the stage with theater and cinema legends. She was already on the path that would lead her to stardom, but like any good story, the beginning was full of ups and downs. Despite landing a few small roles on Broadway, the big opportunities always seemed to slip through her fingers. But, fam, this was just the calm before the storm, and what a storm it was. You can bet this woman had to knock down many giants to get to the top. And get this, her passing in Los Angeles was peaceful, surrounded by her kids and grandkids. A true queen's farewell. But don't think her final days were some cliché of an old lady in bed, doing nothing. Nah, not Gena. She was still involved in projects, taking part in discussions, and inspiring new artists. It's like she was saying, I'm not leaving without leaving my final mark. And, man, what a mark she left. Now, brace yourselves, fam, because Gena Rowlands' journey wasn't all roses. If there's one thing she had to face, it was challenges, and believe me, there were plenty. After graduating from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, Gena realized that life in New York wasn't going to be easy. The competition was fierce, and the doors to success seemed to be locked with 1,000 keys. But as you can already tell, Gena wasn't one to give up easily. In those early years, she had to hustle hard. And when I say hustle, I mean literally. Gena did everything she could to make ends meet. From small roles in off-Broadway plays to working as a waitress just to pay the rent. Can you imagine? The woman who would later become a cinema icon was out there serving coffee, dreaming of stardom. But the real challenge wasn't just financial. The entertainment industry back then was brutal for women, and Gena felt it firsthand. Besides having to prove her talent at every new audition, she also faced the prejudice of being a young, blonde, and beautiful actress. Many directors saw her only as a pretty face, someone who could light up the screen but not carry a movie with her acting. And that, my friend, was something Gena simply wouldn't accept. The turning point came when she decided she wasn't going to wait for roles that valued her talent anymore. That's when she started seeking collaborations with directors who believed in her potential. And guess who showed up at that crucial moment? John Cassavetes, the man who not only believed in Gena's talent but who would also become her husband and life partner. Together, they formed a powerful duo that would redefine American independent cinema. Now let's talk about some real tension, fam. Just imagine. Gena Rowlands, who had already fought so hard to establish herself in the industry, now found herself at a crossroads. When she and John Cassavetes decided to work together, the idea seemed like a dream, a couple in love, making art together. But the reality was much more complicated. Cassavetes was an innovative director, obsessed with authenticity and intensity. He believed in breaking all the rules of conventional cinema, and Gena was totally aligned with that vision. But this approach came with a cost. The independent productions they made were challenging and required immense sacrifices. The pressure was constant, the funding was scarce, and the shoots were chaotic. And, of course, this began to take a toll on their relationship. In films like A Woman Under the Influence, 1974, Gena played roles so intense and emotionally exhausting that people started questioning whether she could separate her personal life from her work. But she didn't back down. On the contrary, she dove headfirst into the characters, knowing full well that this could ruin not only her career but also her marriage. And to make things even more complicated, Cassavetes' style was so radical that they faced resistance from all sides, from studios, critics, and even the audience. Many found their films too difficult, too heavy. And Gena, who could have opted for safer roles in big Hollywood productions, chose the riskier path. But those risks, fam, were what defined her career. She became a respected, acclaimed actress, and above all, someone who wasn't afraid to break barriers. But those risks weren't just professional, fam. The constant pressure and emotional toll were real, and Gena knew she was playing with fire. There were moments when she wondered if it was worth continuing. But at the same time, she couldn't stop. It was as if each film was a battle, and she was determined to come out victorious, no matter the cost. Now, fam, if you think she slowed down after all that, you're dead wrong. Gena Rowlands wasn't the type to rest on her laurels. Even after her cinematic partnership with Cassavetes ended, Gena stayed active in the arts. In 2001, she made one of her last great appearances on the TV series, The Warden, proving that her passion for the craft hadn't cooled one bit. She was still the same Gena Rowlands, powerful, emotionally charged, and, of course, with a skill that only time could perfect. Her later work was marked by roles that delved deep into the complexities of human emotion, something she mastered like no other. But that's not all, fam. Gena also spent her later years investing in her family. She and John Cassavetes had 3 children, Nick, Alexandra, and Zoe, and despite the hectic schedule of filming and success, she always made sure to be present in their lives. It wasn't unusual to see Gena participating in family events and supporting her children in their own journeys, whether in cinema, television, or other fields. She was a dedicated matriarch who didn't let the glamour of the entertainment world distract her from her family. Of course, the challenges didn't stop there. Gena continued to face health problems, but as always, she handled them with dignity and courage, which only increased the respect people had for her. In her later years, the actress battled complications associated with aging, but she never stopped being a source of inspiration for those who knew her. She also dedicated herself to charity projects and gave talks about her experiences and the importance of art in society. Even at 94, Gena Rowlands remained as engaged as ever, with a sharp mind and an indomitable spirit. Her passing was undoubtedly a sad chapter, but it also served as a powerful reminder of the vitality and lasting influence of a true artist. So, fam, how are you feeling after hearing all that? Gena Rowlands was a force of nature, a woman who turned every challenge into an opportunity and every role into a masterpiece. Her story is a powerful testament to how perseverance and passion can create not just a brilliant career, but also inspire entire generations. She faced adversity, broke barriers, and above all, remained true to herself and her art. Gena didn't just survive the hardships, she confronted them with courage and creativity, shaping her journey in a way that few can achieve. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever stopped to think about the challenges you're facing in your own life? What's stopping you from pursuing your dreams with the same drive that Gena showed? Maybe it's time to look at your own battles and ask yourself, how can I turn these difficulties into opportunities to grow and shine? Fam, those who didn't die, but were very ill, were the athletes who swam in the sewage of the River Seine. If you want to know how the River Seine became this giant sewer, stay tuned. I put the video at the end for you to watch. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any video.